Hey guys, Trigger John coming right back at you with another video from the Demon Hunter category. Today's video, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the gems that are utilized, and probably the best for the Demon Hunter, in my personal opinion. This is based upon a lot of testing and a lot of gameplay. Naturally, I will talk about the skills I'm using, and that way you kind of have an understanding as to why I picked the gems that I'm using. So that way you can really do the math, because even though this game may seem like it's a very simple game, there are some aspects of Diablo Immortal where they have kind of layered some strategies that not everybody is utilizing and taking advantage of. All right, so as you can see here, I do have my character pulled up, and unfortunately, I have to announce that I will be switching over from my Demon Hunter to a Crusader pretty soon. Stay tuned if you have not already stay tuned or go watch the video that I released where we did a debate with Failed Shot Gaming, and you will know that there were some mistakes that were made and substantiated. So we both are doing something a little bit different. Now, let's bring up and talk about what is probably the most important thing about the Demon Hunter. And the most important thing about a Demon Hunter is the fact that they are a ranged class and they have this ability that is called Vengeance. Vengeance really is the staple of the Demon Hunter. So let's keep this in mind, because this video is going to be talking about the gems that you're going to be utilizing as a Demon Hunter and kind of like what you need to be prioritizing with that, because you need to make sure that you are aware of the skills that you're particularly using, because not all of them are going to synergize correctly with other abilities, right? So in this case, Vengeance is probably the best example to use, because with Vengeance, you have a primary attack to launch 2 additional shots for damage here. You increase 3% increased movement speed for each nearby enemy, which then allows you to go up to 10 times, which goes 30% increased speed, which is massive. When you pick the correct legendary gear, you also get to do so much more damage with Vengeance, which that's what we're really concerned with here, is the amount of damage you do because you have Vengeance active, as well as its 20-second cooldown, which is pretty long, but when paired with the right abilities, you can get down to this 15% cooldown, and this other one that is even more cooldown of 10%, so that you can get down to, sorry, I misspoke here. You decrease cooldown, or sorry, yeah, it's 15, 25, and then this one is actually 35% decreased cooldown total. Now, this does allow you to do a lot of keeping Vengeance up, but you need to be aware of that when you are trying to figure out what gems to use, because certain gems allow you to modify your primary ability. Now, Vengeance did modify your primary, but allows all of your skills to do a lot more damage as long as you have the correct legs. As long as you have these legs on here, this Ruinous Path, then you can do a lot more damage, because it does increase all of your damage you deal by 6%. So this does stack on all skills on the Demon Hunter. I'm going to say and go out on a limb that one of the best things that you can do as a Demon Hunter is pick gems that really synergize well together. And one of those gems that's going to synergize well with pretty much everything is going to be the Carson's Invigoration. The reason why is, one, you can get this one kind of for free from the Trader's Hill once a week, which is definitely helpful. But then you can also utilize this one a little bit more as well, because it increases the speed of your primary attack and the damage of your primary attack by 2%. So you shoot tremendously faster by 16%, and you increase the damage by 2%. So this allows your primary, which is the main bread and butter of a Demon Hunter, to do more damage, because as you are a Demon Hunter, you can move and attack at the same time all day long. Now, you do not get a whole lot of this increased magic find, but this has kind of been hoopla anyways, as far as figuring out exactly what the modification is here. Now, the other part about this is a 1-star gem. So this allows us to get these primary attack damage unlocked and the skill damage increased by 2% pretty easily, because this is a 1-star gem that you just have to take up one of them to level 10. And then that way it awakens that piece of legendary gear on your character, which then allows you to have the modifications on your gear. Now, that is guarded behind unfortunately, a paywall of the echoing something or other that you buy in the shop for platinum, for eternal orbs. So it is paywalled, unfortunately, but given that it is a 1-star gem that you can get for almost for free, it is very beneficial to have on your character. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is going to be Berserker's Eye. This is another free-to-play friendly gem, in my opinion, because it increases all the damage you deal and your crit hit chance up. Now, you definitely want to get your crit hit chance up as much as possible because as a Demon Hunter, you are the best single target damage dealer in the game. So this allows you to increase your crit rate so that way you can do a lot more damage and your damage overall by 16%. 16% is nothing to shake your finger at. Once again, this one is pretty easy to go ahead and get your resonance up. I've done this as well. So this one is at the base, which then increases my primary attack damage as increased by 3%, which then allows me to do 3% more damage on my primary. Once again, that crossbow shot, that resonance synergizes so very well on top of the 16% that we get here. So this gives us this whole gem gives us about 19% damage increase, not including critical hit chance, which then would multiply to a lot more. All right. Now, let's talk about some other gems that could be useful. I'm using Howler's Call. The reason why I'm using Howler's Call is because every primary attack has a 10% chance to summon a charging spirit wolf that inflicts blah, blah, blah damage to all enemies. Now, once again, this goes back to the thought process of I've already picked my skills for a Demon Hunter. I know that my primary attack is going to be a crossbow shot. I'm synergizing Vengeance, so I'm doing a lot of primary attacks. So I want to make sure that I have a lot of modifications to my primary attacks, which is going to then lead to me doing a lot more damage, right? So this whole this whole Howler's Call synergizes extremely well because since you are doing your primary attack so often, you have a 10% chance to summon a charging spirit wolf. That is just allowing you to do something a lot more enemies, or so to speak, to destroy your enemies, right? You're going to be summoning beasts that kill them. Now, if you were to multiply this with Echoing Shade, then you get another modification that just goes all the way down the board where you're just doing so much more damage because your primary attack is going to be the main focus as a Demon Hunter. Next, let's talk about Bottled Hope. This one is one of those ones where you can be argued one way or the other for a Demon Hunter. I feel like it's one of the best ones to have for a Demon Hunter because when you use the skill to grant a buff, which Vengeance does fall under this category, increase the damage and movement speed of the target by 13.5% for 6 seconds. So this means that the damage they do increases by 13.5%, and the movement speed of the target also increases by 13.5%. So when you use Vengeance, you can go up to 30% increase in speed. When you have Bottled Hope proc with it for the 6 seconds, that gives you about a 43% increased movement speed, which is massive. So it allows you to get out of the jam, as well as it lets you do a boatload more damage because you've already stacked this with Vengeance. And luckily, Vithus also synergizes with this. So now you get to have an extension of your Vengeance and the amount of damage that you do because Vithus set has modified both of them. Definitely go watch my video on that. I do have one that says the perfect pair. That's going to be talking about the Bottled Hope and the Vithus set in general. Okay, moving on. Blood-Soaked Jade is probably the best gem in the game right now. So it's definitely one of those ones you want to focus and prioritize. Notice that I have it as a 2 out of 5. Unfortunately, I am trying to work on getting it better. I have a couple of them ready to go. I need this one to get up to rank 3. And then I will just need a basic right here, which means I need to really get some more of these Blood-Soaked Jades. But unfortunately, in our neck of the woods, they're flying off the shelves. I can't seem to ever get one of them. I definitely want to get a 4-star here so that way I can get the best gem in the game upgraded as high as possible, which would then be the Blood-Soaked Jade, which increases all of your damage you deal by 13.5%. Once again, at full life with a minimum bonus of 6.7% at low life. Increase your movement speed by 10% and additionally take 2% decrease damage while below 50%. Helps you mitigate damage that you take. It allows you to do a lot more damage, just like similar to Berserker Eye, but unfortunately Berserker Eye has a downside of it makes you take more damage. Blood-Soaked Jade allows you to mitigate some of that damage, which is definitely a better benefit. So definitely one of the best ones in the game for it. Last but not least, the one that I run on my Demon Hunter is going to be Seeping Bile. The reason why I run Seeping Bile is because it is dot damage. You have a 4% chance to poison enemies, inflicting 35% base damage plus 263 every second for 6 seconds. That's great for damage dealing as far as dot goes. Movement speed by 6% and decreasing the movement speed by 6%. So that means you then slow all of your enemies. And this can spread. Poison actually has a spread effect in Diablo Immortal, which is amazing. A lot of games will actually allow that to happen where it would be a touch and spread, but they synergize that pretty well, honestly. And I love the fact that it works like that. Makes Seeping Bile probably the second best gem in the game because everybody can use dot damage, and being that it allows them to spread is impactful. And slowing down the enemies is also super impactful because it's always a form of CC, even if it does not directly say it. Now, there are a few gems that could possibly be other ones to talk about, like Echoing Shade is going to be one that's going to be very, very good for a Demon Hunter. And before anyone says, oh, John, you're only talking about gems that are 5 stars, that's because when you get to the end game, that's really what you're going to be looking for. You're going to be looking for 5-star gems. And even as a free-to-play player, now that they've made additions to Blizzard, and the thought process behind Blizzard, I would say that they are allowing free-to-play players to have those internal legendary crests more often than what they did before. It's going to give you a better chance of getting these 5-star runs and having free-to-play players catch up. So this means you need to be aware of which ones you want to focus on, so that way you know which ones you need to sell as a free-to-play player to go ahead and buy the ones that you want. So Echoing Shade is going to be another one that's going to be very good because you have your attacks have a 50% chance to summon a shadow clone for 8 seconds that gains some of your abilities. This essentially mimics a lot of your damage that you do, which is amazing. That makes you output double the damage. Zwinson's is kind of another option, but unfortunately it's because you have to defeat an enemy. And I feel like that's where that gets a little risky when we talk about this, is because this becomes a limited gem. So I would definitely not put Zwinson's very high on the list of acquiring as a Demon Hunter. Same thing with Blessing of the Worthy. I would not really worry about this one too awful much, or Chip of the Stoneflesh for sure. Do not get this one. All right. What are some of the other gems that you could go for as a free-to-play player? And let's say you are playing the really, really, really long game. Well, we have Bloody Reach, which is definitely geared towards a Demon Hunter because it is literally for every 2 yards between you and the enemy, hit maximum increase of 13.6% at 8 yards. In addition, you can slow the enemy. So literally, the further away you get when you're using this Bloody Reach, the more damage that you do. See our website, diablopro.gg, where we have marked what 30 yards actually is, so that way you know exactly how much damage you can get from the Bloody Reach gem. This is an amazing option as a free-to-play player to utilize Bloody Reach to do a lot more damage for your Demon Hunter, and this is going to be very limited to just the Demon Hunter. All right. Next one we have is Fervant Fang. Now, Fervent Fang is another one that is limited. You can only get this during the Battle Pass. You cannot buy these. You cannot drop these, unfortunately. Which is very, 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 very unfortunate. I don't know why Blizzard and Diablo would do this to us, but it is what it is. They definitely wanted to bull guard this one, I guess. I don't know why, though. So each time you damage the enemy, increase the damage it takes from your attacks by 1.3%. So essentially, at 10 stacks, you can do 13.5% damage. And then also increase all damage you do to elite monsters by 1.5%. I think they really wanted to try to utilize this one or sell this one as a elite boss damage nuking ability. And I think they kind of missed their mark, honestly, but it is very, very helpful for a Demon Hunter because once again, it's just pure output of damage, and that's what you're going to want to utilize. All right, the next one that we're going to talk about real quick is going to be this Power and Command. Now, Power and Command is also going to be a beneficial one as a Demon Hunter. And it's going to be probably one of the better ones to talk about because for free-to-play players, Power and Command is pretty popular. A lot of people will sell them as well. The reason why this one's good is because it states every 9 seconds, right? So it switches back and forth from Power to Command every 9 seconds. Now, Power increases your primary attacks damage by 8%, which is you're always using your primary attacks as a Demon Hunter. And Command increases all other skills damage by 8%. So essentially, as you level this up, you just do more and more and more damage, and it flip-flops every 9 seconds between which one you're utilizing. If it's going to do more on the primary attack, if it's going to do more on the secondary skills that you utilize as a player. The thing with that being said, though, is always keep in mind that you are always using your primary, so at some point in time, you're actually going to get a decrease in your primary attack, and your secondaries that have a longer cooldown are going to increase. However, it's not going to get nearly as utilized, so definitely be aware of that when using Power Command as a Demon Hunter. That's pretty much going to be one of the last ones that we really talk about. I mean, I believe, if I remember correctly, we have Lightning Core, which is kind of one that we could talk about. But one of the better ones that we could really speak about, I believe, honestly, would probably be the Zod Stone. Increase your duration of your ultimate skills by 16% is pretty good, especially as the Demon Hunter, because your ultimate is so much damage. And duration bonus increases to 20% as you rank it up. So it literally just increases your resonance, so to speak, which then allows you to increase more and more damage output. So it's definitely something to be aware of. I know it's one of those that's not really talked about a whole lot by Demon Hunter, but definitely utilize all the same. That's going to be it for this video where we talk about just the gems on the Demon Hunter. So definitely, if you enjoyed this, leave a comment, like, subscribe down below. let me know what gems are you using on your Demon Hunter? I'd be curious to hear what you have going for you. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Have a good rest of your day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.